Hello guys, in the last few videos of the 3D print series we made a few modifications to our clevis hitch and our rear link pallet fork. So in today's video we're going to take a look at how those prints have turned out. So first let's take a look at the clevis hitch, and as you can see we now have the angle added so that when we raise the link arms on the tractor, the clevis hitch itself should be fairly level, and that should mean that there'll be less pressure on the drawbar of the tractor, so less likely to break like we seen in the last one. You also probably noticed that most of the points where the support material is connecting here seems to be on the back. That's because when I printed this I kind of stood it up on its end, so the parts that are away from the tractor are going to be a little bit smoother. That's what I was trying to do. I thought if I stood it up on its end, these little nodules that are sticking out here, that wouldn't have such an impact on what you actually see from the vehicle side, or from the opposite side. I guess the nodules are on the vehicle side, so they're kind of hidden by the vehicle itself. I thought that would probably leave it with a slightly better finish if I printed it that way. Of course it's not that difficult to remove those little points. You can just file them down, or you could cut them with a sharp knife, a scalpel if you had it, and you might see it well you would see it on its if you didn't paint the part, but once you put a couple of layers of paint over those little marks, you wouldn't really notice them at all. On this part those little nodules aren't going to be that much of an issue, but what is more of an issue is the curves that we can see on the little support pieces, the cylinders that are sticking out from the part. That would be better if they were straight, and I think the issue there is actually that the support material wasn't good enough at those points. It might actually be better if we didn't print this part straight up. If we actually printed it at a bit of an angle, that might result in a more stable print. In terms of function, the part seems to work pretty good. Just add whatever bolt that suits the trailer's drawbar, and as you can see there, when we lift the lifting arms up to their full height, the supporting weight is lifted nice and clear off the ground, so and everything is straight. You can see that we can turn the trailer at quite a tight angle without putting too much stress on the part like we seen in the previous video. And you'll notice there, as we lower it down, as we lower this clevis hitch part down, it moves, it actually pivots on the two little cylinders, so that's exactly what we want. We want it to pivot rather than break. That was a CQ tractor, so we also wanted to work with Britain's tractors, because you mightn't get every model you want from one manufacturer or the other. So well, they're also kind of a standard fitting, standard link arm, so there should be no issue with them working between each model. And as you can see here, it's working just as fine with this 1980s Ford County Britain's model as it was with the modern CQ model, so there's no problems with that. So now we'll take a look at our rear link pallet fork. This is the modified one, and you can see that I printed it in much the same way as the clevis hitch. I stood it on the rear of the design, so that's the vehicle side again was facing the print bed, so all the support material went to that side, and that meant that our forks came out pretty good. There's no pop marks on it, there's no little nodules sticking out, but as you can see the whole back face has lots of little marks where the support material was. So if we change angle here, you'll see that it's fairly extensive, the little marks, but we could of course tidy that up. And I do think that if we printed it at an angle, if I hadn't have placed it completely straight up, I think we would have got a smoother finish on that rear surface as well. But functionally it should still work just fine. Just a reminder, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and get the bell on for notifications. So if we take a look at the CQ model again, I'll just put another one. This was the original part that we printed, and you can see the extra little piece that's sticking out along the frame there, so that's been removed. And we've also moved the cylinder on the fork down, so now you can see we're getting the pallet fork nice and flat on the ground, whereas before the end of the fork was sticking up, so you couldn't really get the pallet in, or you couldn't get the fork under a pallet because just the tip of the fork was sticking in the air. But as you can see, the pallet just slid on there nice and easy now, so it's clearly a good bit of an improvement there. This is actually the same design fork, although you might notice that there's a notch missing out of it. It's just that I printed a few of them at the same time, and I might have printed this one first and then recorded this little segment here. As you can see, the pallet fork fits on the link arms of the Britain's tractor the same, but I guess this Britain's tractor is probably a little bit lower than the fent that we were trying, the CQ fent that we were trying with just a second ago, which probably makes sense because this would physically be a smaller tractor, but it might also be because this is an older model. It's a slightly different configuration than the new versions, but unfortunately I don't have a modern Britain's model just to test it with. But you can see that a little bit of height is meaning that our pallet fork is sliding off on the Britain's version, but on our CQ tractors we're not seeing the same issue just because of that height difference. And I think in last week's video we probably proved that that pallet fork is working pretty good with the CQ's tractor. We didn't have any issues with it falling off on when we were moving the pallets around. I'd say that was quite a successful upgrade to our little 3D printed parts. It seemed to be working fairly well with the CQ tractors. Maybe a little bit of work to do on the Britain's ones. Maybe just need to test it with a modern Britain's tractor and see is there any real issues there. But it seems to be working good enough, I think. So if you like the videos, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, and hopefully a few of you are following along on Fusion 360 yourselves and designing your own parts, maybe 3D printing your own parts. So hopefully it's working well for all you guys as well. But that's all I have for today, so thanks very much for watching.